Good morning, dear students of class 12. Welcome to the English online learning class. Today we are going to revise the lesson Should Wizard Hit Mommy by John Updike from your supplementary reader Vistas. Now first of all, this lesson Should Wizard Hit Mommy is a story within a story where father Jack usually tells his daughter Jo the same story of a creature named Roger. Thus, the basic structure of the story is same, with little variation. Name of the character is always Roger. But every story, although the basic structure of all the story is same, there is a little variation. The creature would be different. And definitely the problem is also different. But the sequence was always same in all the story. Roger used to visit the wise owl for solution of his problem, who sends him to the wizard, and the wizard solves the problem of the creature Roger charging some money. And usually Roger used to run short of money, and wizard used to direct him to the place where he would find the extra pennies. And then Roger used to return back, make full payment, and go home happily with his problem solved and join the rest of the family. So all the stories had a happy ending. Now Jack's daughter Jo used to listen to these stories. And the purpose of storytelling was to put the daughter to sleep. The daughter these days was growing up, and so she would not fall asleep. The purpose of storytelling was lost. As the daughter Jo was growing up, she used to listen to these stories with great curiosity, and this particular story which father was telling his daughter, of which this lesson is based, she raises a difficult moral question for which the father does not have any convincing answer. So now let us go into the detail. Jack fabricated a story. Fabricated means the stories were created by his imagination. He had not read it somewhere. It was a figment of his imagination. He fabricated a story to tell to his daughter, who was 2 years old then, Jo, and he created a basic plot where the main protagonist was an animal named Roger, a small creature. The animal had a problem, went to the owl. The owl advised him to go to the wizard. The wizard solved the problem and charged Roger pennies more than he had. However, he was also guided how to get the required pennies. One day, Jack told Jo a story about Roger's skunk who smelled so bad that the other animals ran away from him. This story was the story on which this lesson is based. Now, the storytelling sessions began when daughter was 2 years old. And the purpose of these storytelling sessions was to put the daughter to sleep. As the daughter was now 4, probably a school-going girl, she was learning new things. And her curiosity level was increasing. She could not be put to sleep because she used to ask questions. Roger's skunk went to the owl, who in turn sent him to the wizard, who changed his foul smell to sweet smell of roses. Roger's skunk was ecstatic and ran to the jungle to play with other animals who loved his smell very much. Because earlier he had a very foul smell, bad smell. He was rejected by his friends. But now the wizard had changed his foul smell to sweet smell of roses as per his wish. And because of this, he was accepted by other animals. When he reached his house, his mother scolded him for the new smell, and she took him to the wizard. Rhoda's mother shouted at the wizard and even hit him hard on the head with her umbrella. The little Roger got the foul smell again and was sad. Now here we find that Jo, she did not like the behavior of the mommy. She intervened her father. She was taking interest in storytelling, asking questions in between. Now, towards the end, she thought that now the story had almost come to an end. So she had lost her interest. Now, father deliberately introduced a twist in the tale, a change. Now the girl was again alert, and she was not ready to accept this ending. She wanted her father to hit mommy. She wanted that her father should say that instead wizard hit mommy. But Jack disapproved Joe's decision that wizard would hit mommy. Joe's mother is annoyed at Jack's taking so much of time in telling the story. Downstairs, Joe's mother is working and she wants that her husband should join her and assist her in the work. Share the household work with her. But Joe was not ready to take the ending. She was not accepting the ending, and so she was not sleeping. She was wide awake and she was arguing. She didn't like the ending of the story and forced her father Jack to change it. Now Jack is in a dilemma, whether to go to help his wife in her work, or he is not ready to accept this demand of his daughter. And finally, he had to say, we'll see the next day. He doesn't give her any promise that he would change the ending of the story. In the last paragraph, we see in the lesson that Jack is in a dilemma. He is going through a very troubled phase in his life. It gives him a feeling that he is in a cage, in an ugly middle position. Probably he is not able to find out or strike proper work-life balance. Now these are some of the pointers of the storytelling sessions of Father, which we have already discussed. The new story about Roger Skunks that Father tells his story, the story about to his daughter that particular day. Skunk and woodland creatures. How Skunk had to face rejection. Probably here there are autobiographical elements of Jack's own life. How as a child he had to also face rejections. And probably in Roger Skunk's mother, there are traces of his mother and her dominating influence on Jack. Then there is the problem of the child, Jo, because she does not like the defeat of the wizard. She wants the story to be changed. Instead of mommy hitting wizard, she wants that wizard should hit mommy back. Father advises, probably meaning that mothers or parents are always right and loving and caring. They think the best of for their children. Now, father's predicament. Claire, his wife, is busy painting furniture. Claire complains of delay in his coming soon. She finds herself, rather, he finds himself, here he finds himself in an huge, ugly middle position. Probably he is not able to strike proper work-life balance. He feels he's caught in an ugly middle position. Justification of the title is apt and justified, in spite of the fact that father is a mouthpiece of the author. Is firm in his opinion that mothers or parents all over the world are supreme and cannot make mistake. The reader is face to face with two contrasting viewpoints. The spirit of equality stamped in her mind urges Jo to condemn the mother or the parent and demand that the wizard should hit the mother in retaliation. The child's thinking is simple and innocent. She fails to understand that her father wants to tell her that mothers or parents are above all. They should not be blamed. That is why the child vehemently demands that tomorrow I want you to end the story the other way. It is met by father's cryptic answer, no, that is not the story. A verdict of the father. Yet the author deliberately keeps the story open-ended, does not categorically state his opinion, and title has a question mark, leaving the readers to decide whether parents need to be they should change, or they have the right to take decisions on part of their children. Because he wants the ginger lines to correspond with he wants the readers to correspond with the ending of the story that leaves narrator caught in an ugly middle position of uncertainties. This is how the reader needs to react and form his or her own opinion. So at this point, the story closes. Thank you. Have a nice